up? It's your girl Coco. Welcome back to another episode of Pretty Psych TV. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. We hope that you stay a while. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. We missed you and we hope that you missed us too. Today we'll discuss mental health versus mental illness, effective treatment options, and also identify ways to support yourself and others during this difficult time. Mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which individuals recognize their own abilities, manage normal life stresses, work productively, and contribute to their community. Essentially speaking, it refers to our mind, the way we think, how we feel, and how we behave. Maintaining optimal mental health is just as important as maintaining physical health and should receive the same level of care and attention. Now, mental health exists on a continuum, meaning it can range from optimal well-being to varying degrees of impairment, which can include diagnosable mental illnesses. Our position on this spectrum can shift over time, and this shift can be influenced by various life circumstances, such as our coping skills, genetics, background and experiences, physical health, relationships, and socioeconomic statuses. So depending on current life events, on certain days we may be able to manage stresses effectively, and other days we may experience a sense of loss of control. So if you ever find yourself functioning or managing situations at a lower capacity than normal, it may be a good idea to stop and reflect on what in your life may be presenting as a stressor in that moment. Mental health can be viewed as an umbrella term, meaning it encompasses our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, while mental illness refers to specific diagnosable conditions such as anxiety and depression. It's important to know that everyone has mental health, but not everyone experiences a mental illness. As we discussed earlier, genetic factors can play a role in our mental health and may significantly influence mental illness, making complete prevention impossible. However, there are strategies to lower risks, lessen severity, and support adaptability. It's important to know that treatment options are available. When we look at effective treatment, options can include psychotherapy, also known as talk therapy, or traditional face-to-face dialogue with a practitioner. Pharmacology, also known as medication management, used to treat persistent or severe conditions in combination with or without psychotherapy. And lastly, self-care strategies such as exercise, proper nutrition, optimal sleep, and meditation or relaxation techniques. At least 8.4 Americans provide care to persons with an emotional or mental health challenge or illness. Supporting individuals requires empathy, patience, and understanding. Even if you're not directly experiencing a mental health challenge or illness, having a friend, family member, colleague, or acquaintance who is affected can influence one's own well-being. So it's important to stay informed on effective ways to support yourself and others. Being supportive is not always easy, but one of the biggest ways to help yourself and others is through education. Gaining insight and awareness helps us understand the origin of our condition or symptoms, notice early changes in our mood or psyche, and identify appropriate support when needed. Education also plays a role in reducing stigma, encouraging empathy, and showing respect for loved ones during such a sensitive time. Always listen to what your body is saying. If it feels off, then it probably is. Pay attention to your body's signals. Discomfort can indicate emotional concerns worth discussing with someone you trust. Seeking help can be challenging, so if you're supporting someone, listen openly and without judgment. Most of the time, people are often seeking understanding rather than advice or solutions. Always offer tangible support. If active listening is not your primary or strong skill, consider assisting with a specific task or accompanying the individual to an appointment. Providing help with daily activities may significantly reduce stress for those having trouble with routine tasks, especially for a person who may find it difficult just to get out of bed every day. Or simply ask, what will be helpful for you in this moment? That can always lead to faster recovery. Now, a lot of you may be asking, what is first-person language? First-person language is language used acknowledging the mental health disorder or challenge is not as important as a person's individuality or humanity. Always remember to use first-person language. Referring to an individual as their diagnoses or symptoms is never okay. Whether an individual is experiencing a situational challenge or a chronic mental illness, the one feeling they want to experience more than anything is a sense of normalcy. Helping that individual maintain their sense of identity is essential. Addressing them by their names rather than their illness or symptom is the best practice. It is important to respect individuals' boundaries. Unless there's a concern regarding a person's safety to themselves or others, these boundaries should be upheld. Individuals undergoing changes in their emotional or mental state may experience cognitive difficulties such as brain fog, which can impair logical thinking. Due to this impairment, efforts to correct or redirect them may be perceived as confrontational. Therefore, it's essential to maintain a gentle approach in communication and offer support throughout stabilization, therefore fostering a return to normalcy. Another best practice is recommending professional assistance when warranted. If you believe the person may pose a risk to themselves or others and their needs exceed your capacity for support, advise them to seek specialized care. And remember, gentleness is always key. Prioritizing mental health is crucial. Schedule breaks as necessary, follow a balanced diet, and practice effective sleep hygiene. Individuals who utilize maladaptive coping mechanisms should consider reducing or refraining from such behaviors, as they may exacerbate emotional or psychological difficulties. For those providing support to others, it's important to recognize the impact it has on your own well-being and ensure that adequate time is dedicated to personal recovery. Safety is paramount. If the environment or situation feels unsafe, call 911 and request a mental health or crisis intervention responder. You may also contact your community mobile response team if available in your area. Appreciating mental health means approaching it with empathy, inquisitiveness, and receptivity. Engaging in conversations and offering support helps create an environment that prioritizes wellness and combats stigma. Educating ourselves, staying informed, and making use of available treatment options are all ways to optimize mental health. This week, I invite you to take a step towards prioritizing your own well-being. Thinking about the past month, ask yourselves, how have I responded to conflict, criticism, or stress? Do I feel guilt, inadequacy, shame, or worthlessness when outcomes are less than I desire or others are expecting of me? Are there people or places who evoke a decline in my mood? And lastly, can I improve independently without support? Monitor these changes. Be attentive to alterations in your mood, energy levels, interactions with others, as well as sleeping and eating patterns. If you're uncertain about where you are on this continuum, it may be helpful to seek support. Consider contacting your primary care physician, insurance provider, or a trusted individual who can assist you with connecting to a qualified practitioner to address your needs.
It's connected to you.